A midnight drop ranges over Grenada. The clock ticked past midnight, the darkness punctuated by the roar of aircraft engines. Below, the island of Grenada slept, unaware of the drama about to unfold. From the bellies of C-130 Hercules transports, shadowy figures emerged, their parachutes blossoming against the night sky. These were the U.S. Army Rangers, spearheading Operation Urgent Fury, an intervention that would forever etch Grenada's name into the annals of Cold War history. Their target, Point Salines Airfield, a potential launching pad for Soviet and Cuban influence in the volatile Caribbean. The Rangers' descent marked the beginning of a lightning operation, one fraught with danger, political intrigue, and lasting consequences. Caribbean chessboard Cold War tensions. The Caribbean Sea, a seemingly idyllic paradise, was a geopolitical tinderbox in the 1980s. The United States, locked in a global struggle with the Soviet Union, viewed the region through the prism of Cold War rivalry. Just weeks before the Grenada operation, the bombing of a U.S. Marine barracks in Beirut, Lebanon, killing 241 American servicemen, had sent shockwaves through Washington. The Reagan administration, already wary of Soviet expansionism, saw the Caribbean as a soft underbelly vulnerable to communist influence. Grenada, a tiny island nation recently shaken by a radical Marxist-Leninist coup, became a focal point of this anxiety. The presence of Cuban advisors and workers, along with the construction of a large airfield at Point Salines with alleged Cuban and Soviet support, fueled fears of a communist foothold in the region. The U.S. government, with the specter of another Cuba looming large, felt compelled to act. Island upheaval. Grenada's turbulent path. Grenada's history, like that of many Caribbean islands, was one marked by colonialism and political turbulence. After gaining independence from Britain in 1974, the island found itself under the autocratic rule of Prime Minister Eric Gairy. Gairy's eccentric leadership style and alleged human rights abuses fueled popular discontent. In 1979, a bloodless coup d'etat led by the charismatic Maurice Bishop and his New Jewel movement, or NJM, toppled Gairy's government. The NJM, espousing a Marxist-Leninist ideology, promised social justice and economic equality. However, internal divisions soon plagued the movement. A power struggle between Bishop, who advocated for closer ties with the West, and a hardline faction led by Bernard Cord culminated in Bishop's house arrest and eventual execution. The execution of Bishop, a popular figure both domestically and internationally, sent shockwaves through Grenada and the region. A wave of protests and international condemnation followed, further destabilizing the island nation. Section 4, Urgent Fury Unleashed, Intervention and Invasion. Citing the chaos in Grenada, the threat to American medical students studying on the island, and the growing Cuban military presence, the United States launched Operation Urgent Fury on October 25, 1983. A combined force of U.S. Army Rangers, Marines, Navy SEALs, and elements of the 82nd Airborne Division, alongside troops from several Caribbean nations, descended upon Grenada. The invasion faced immediate challenges. Intelligence on the ground was flawed, leading to confusion and delays. Cuban troops and Grenadian militia put up stiff resistance, particularly at Point Salines Airfield and the town of St. George's. Intense firefights erupted, testing the mettle of the American troops. The fighting was fierce, but the overwhelming firepower and numerical superiority of the U.S. forces eventually prevailed. Within days, organized resistance crumbled. American medical students were evacuated, a new government was installed, and the Cuban presence was neutralized. Operation Urgent Fury was a military success, but it came at a cost. Section 5, Legacy of an Intervention, Grenada and Beyond. The invasion of Grenada, while brief, left a lasting impact. The operation, though touted as a success by the Reagan administration, drew sharp criticism from many quarters. The United Nations General Assembly condemned the intervention as a violation of international law. Questions lingered about the justification for the invasion and the proportionality of the U.S. response. The bombing of a mental hospital, resulting in civilian casualties, cast a dark shadow over the operation, raising concerns about potential intelligence failures and rules of engagement. The legacy of Urgent Fury continues to be debated. with perspectives ranging from a necessary intervention to prevent a communist takeover to an unjustified act of aggression against a sovereign nation. Grenada today is a far cry from the turmoil of 1983. The island nation has embraced democracy and enjoys relative stability. Tourism has flourished and the scars of the invasion have largely healed. However, the memory of Operation Urgent Fury, with its complexities and controversies, serves as a reminder of the enduring impact of Cold War tensions and the unintended consequences of military intervention. It is a chapter in history that continues to spark debate and reflection, prompting examination of the delicate balance between national security and international diplomacy.